There is a connection between the paranormal, UFOs, and the myths of ancient history. The clues are scattered across the landscape from a forbidden past, maybe even in your own backyard. There is a connection between the true nature of our reality, consciousness, and the unexplained. I'm Carl the Crusher. Let's explore the unknown. What is up, Crusher crew? It's actually really early in the morning. It's like 5:30 in the morning. I'm getting ready to load up my e-bike on the truck, and I want to drive out into the desert and do a whole hike and ride up the canyon where there's all these ancient petroglyphs and the big red man pictograph. I haven't gone up there and seen that up Warner Valley. This is the land of the giants where all those giant petrified skulls are, the dinosaur tracks are, and all this cool stuff. And I think I found the back way through Warner Valley to get to all of that with my truck. But it's a super dusty road. There's a lot of sand and dust that kicks up. And the last couple of times I've gone out there, my bike in the back of my truck and everything has gotten totally caked with dirt. And so my friend Gabe actually hooked me up with this new product called ZEAL Pro. That's actually an off-road bike, a mountain bike, and e-bike cover. Check this thing out. This thing is absolutely awesome. So we're gonna give it a try today. It's a bike cover that's gonna go over my e-bike on the back of my truck to keep it all protected from the rain, from the dust, and all that. We're gonna give it a shot today. So it has the bottom here, it has the top cover, and then it has the light kit that actually goes with it. That's really cool. And it has all these features for the lights to go in. It's all waterproof, keeps everything safe. So we're gonna give it a try. So as far as I understand it, you basically just put the bottom on the rack here. It's got these zippers. And once we have this on here, the bike just goes right on top of this. It's pretty easy. It has these slots already pre-sewn into it. So you just undo the zipper right here, and then the strap from your bike rack can go right through here, so it can go over the rear tire and lock that in. Okay, so that was actually pretty easy. Well, I mean, technically we've got it on there. That was pretty easy. I really like the material that this is made out of. I honestly feel like if you were in a pickle, you could probably crawl in this and use it for an emergency weather bag if you had to sleep in it overnight, if you didn't have a way to keep the rain off of you. I feel like you could totally do that. That was actually really easy. That honestly just slipped right over. That was super easy. And now literally we just zip the whole thing up together, bottom to top, just like this. Wow, check this out. I just noticed that these zippers overlap. So there's a second zipper right here, but the first zipper actually crosses over and then ends here, and then this one starts. So this whole thing is waterproof and weatherproof, where that's the reason I haven't bought any of these bike covers ever before, is because they've all got holes and vents all over in the bottom. The rain from your tires just like splashes all up over the bike. The dust gets in there and they're kind of like pointless, but this is actually gonna work. The whole light kit was super easy to install too. It has these Velcro pockets, so you just lift that up, slide the light in, run the cable over, plug it into your adapter, and then you've got tail lights and blinkers and everything on the back. So ZEAL Pro, way to go. This is awesome. I'm excited. I've never bought one before because usually they've got holes in the bottom. There's slits in there for they say for the water to drain out, but really all it does is the rain and the water and everything flips up all over the bike. The mud and sand and everything gets in there. It's a whole mess. This is the first bike cover that I've seen that's actually authentically and genuinely like dust and waterproof, and I think is actually going to do the job. I just pulled forward and the taillights are working great, working in conjunction with the truck taillights, and they're actually on there. They just turned off, so very cool. Here in a minute we're going to be pulling off the paved road onto the dirt road. And I don't know if I'm the only one, but you guys know if you've gone mountain biking before, usually your bikes get trashed. They get covered with dirt and water and mud and everything on the drive there and the drive home, worse than when you're actually riding the bike. When you get out on the trail and you're riding down the trail, sometimes you get mud flipped up all over you, but usually before you even get to the trail, when you get on the dirt road or if you have to drive through the rain or the snow, your bike gets completely gobbed up and covered with mud and dirt and all that before you even ride and before you even get there, which is super annoying. So I'm really excited to give this ZEAL Pro a shot and to take it up this dirt road, because usually every time I try to take my bike out here, I usually don't take especially my e-bike on this dirt road, because there's just so much sand and really fine powdery dust and everything that by the time you even get to the trailhead, the whole bike, the gears, the chain and everything are just caked with dirt and dust. And this way it's going to stay completely clean, and so as soon as I get to the trailhead, it's like I have a fresh bike without any problems. Beautiful day it's going to be, but I'll tell you what, this road is totally dusty. It's almost like it's covered in baby powder. The dust is so dry out here, and it is blowing up all over the back of the bike, so we'll see how it does back there. We'll see. Well, we made it. We're all the way here to the Warner Valley Trailhead at Fort Pierce, and up this canyon up here behind me is a whole bunch of petroglyphs. I'm a little bit torn right now because the whole point in coming out here today was to try out the ZEAL Pro to bring the e-bike, but I've never actually gone on this trailhead before. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna unload the bike, we're gonna make an expedition, we're gonna try to go up the trail this way, and if we can get on the other side of the creek and make it up the canyon, we're gonna make it a long ways up there today, farther than I've made it in record-breaking time because we're gonna have the e-bike. But if I get up here and the river or the creek is all full of mud or full of water and we actually can't cross it with the e-bike, then we're gonna have to load it back up and go. We're gonna try and have to do a bunch of this on foot today. So let's go ahead and unload the bike. We'll take off the ZEAL Pro cover. It looks like it did an amazing job. It's totally covered with dust and dirt. All of that would be all over my bike right now if I didn't have the cover on. So awesome job, ZEAL Pro. It worked amazing all the way out here. See what I mean? Just from driving out here, look at all this. That would all be all over my bike right now if I didn't have the dust cover on. How awesome. It worked great. Look at all that. It caught a ton. Now my bike is totally clean and I get to go for a nice ride without having all that dirt and dust all over my bike at the very beginning. Totally clean. Look at that. That is freaking slick. Okay, I don't know how this is gonna go. We're just gonna leave the parking lot here and try to go up this trail. Let me adjust my camera here just a little bit. Now that I got my angle, so you guys can see where we're going here. There we go. And again, like I said, I've never been this way, so I have no idea how far we're gonna make it. But we need to eventually start heading to the west. We have to find a way to get down and across all of this. This actually looks pretty easy right here. That's just like a ledge. Okay, so let's find a way to get across this little creek, and then it looks like there's a trail on the other side here. And then another thing I got going for me is I got myself a new backpack, so I'm kind of excited about that. Oh, here's kind of a trail that goes down. This is just like a washout. But we're on a real adventure here. Okay, this looks like a trail we can try to follow. Let me tighten my camera up a little bit here. Okay, let's try that. Well, where is this gonna take us? It's like a motocross track. This is awesome. Definitely don't want to be going east though. We need to get across the creek here. Here we go. This looks like a good way over. Whoa, look at all these rocks. Cut through here. This is pretty rugged, but this looks like the way up. I think I'm gonna get off and walk it here so I don't pop a tire or bend a rim. But we're gonna have to try and go up there and go up there and get on the trail. And then to see the petroglyphs, we're actually gonna have to come back across the creek onto this side again. We made it. Okay. So we just hiked the bike all the way up this. Tell you what, I'm glad I've been working out going hiking and exercising every day, I feel way better right now. I really do. It's so beautiful out here. So far, so good. This whole trail is like a crazy BMX track. Ups and downs the whole way. It's like a motocross trail. It's all full of sand too. I know I need to get up on top, and there's a trail that cuts over. I'm not sure if we want to do that quite yet though. I keep looking around trying to decide where's the best way up. Let's just stay down here at the creek bottom on the little motocross track. Let me adjust my angle again here. I feel like you guys are still just looking at the dirt a lot. Ready? So far so good though. I got a couple of big Gatorades, about a half a gallon of water, some protein bars. Oh, this looks like a good way up. Protein bars. Holy shit, look at that. I gotta get off. The bike can't make it up this. I'm gonna have to walk it up now. Yeah, hello dragonfly. Dragonfly just buzzing along. Okay, here we go. We gotta walk this up the trail. Hey, I think we found the trailhead though. This is definitely the way. Oh, you guys just looking at the dirt the whole way? Holy crap. If I was on a regular motorcycle, I'd just fly right up this. The e-bike doesn't quite have the guts. But we've made it all this way out so far, and we're still at 99% battery. Uh-oh, there's a gate. I wonder if we have to stay on this side of the gate. Looks like there's a crossing right here for bikes. Okay, we figured it out. Onward. We found the way. Sweet. This is exciting. We're gonna be able to make it probably all the way out to the Red Man pictograph now, because I'm gonna just try to go straight there. We're gonna stay on this trail and go all the way there, and then we'll work our way back. And our bike is fresh and clean because we had the bike cover the whole way out. How awesome. What a perfect day. Holy crap, look at all of this crossing. A lot of getting off and hiking the bike up, because this trail is meant for motorcycles. Holy crap. Okay. Yeah, this bike doesn't have the guts. There are e-bikes though that are definitely powerful enough. They would go right up this hill. But I think I'm a little bit heavy, even though I've been losing a lot of weight and getting in really good shape. I'm still pretty heavy for some of these e-bikes, you know what I mean? All right, okay, I'm gonna save my batteries. We made it. I don't know if you can see right over here on the hilltop. It's really hard for me to see in the camera and point at it. There it is, right there. See this little square box? That's Fort Pierce. That's an old fort that was set up here by the early settlers and soldiers to guard this canyon, but this entire canyon has petroglyph after petroglyph after petroglyph. And the last several times that I've come up here, I've stopped at all of the panels and filmed all the way up. I've stopped and filmed a bunch of stuff up the canyon up here. There's all these big, what look like fossilized dragon heads or lizard skulls and cool stuff, and there's petroglyphs all the way up here. But it's really hard for me to hike all the way out to get to the red man pictograph at the end. So what we want to try to do right now is we're just going to stay on this trail, go all the way to the end. We're going to go straight to the red man pictograph, and then we'll work our way back from there, and we'll see how we do. I don't know how we're going to cross the creek or the river to get back up there, but let's give it a shot. Now we're down in the canyon. It's a little bit cooler in the shade, which is nice. But the riding is still very technical and really interactive and fun. I'm having a great time. We're actually down kind of in the bottom of a riverbed here, driving up it. And we're making really good time flying up here. Looks like it's rained up here in the last few days, and so there's been some big puddles. But everything's dry right now. So far, so good. And this is a really fun trail. I'm having a great time today. Big rock. Big rocks. We're basically just riding up the middle of the river bottom here over all these boulders. Holy gosh. Oh, I'm gonna get off again. Here we go. Oh, I do not want to bang a rim and flatten a tire way out here. Have to walk my bike all the way back. You know what I mean? That would suck. Let's go. I actually feel like we're already pretty freaking close. Hang on. I think the red man's right up here. We're actually pretty darn close. Let's go this way a little bit. Follow this little motorcycle trail. I can actually see it up there. There it is. It's clear up there. I can see it. There's the red man. I can't believe we made it all the way out here this fast. This is amazing. Oh shit. I almost ate it right there. Spoke too soon, right? This trail has been so fun. I would love to bring Kyle out here, or to bring other people on e-bikes and do this. I think it would be really cool. Here in a second, I gotta find a way to cut over and ride over to that. Because believe it or not, we've already made it. Wow. This is so fun. Well, there's a fence on my right, so I got to find a spot now to cross the fence. There was a good spot right back there, actually. I might just, that's what I'm gonna do. Let's ditch our bike over here. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna hide the e-bike here in the trees. There we go. Okay, we're gonna stash the e-bike here behind the bushes. And then if I'm not mistaken, the pictograph is way up here. Can we see it? It's right up there underneath that ledge. The big flat square area. So we gotta cross under this fence, hike all the way up to the top up there, and then we'll make it. That'll be cool. There's not even any barbed wire on this fence. You basically just crawl right under it. But then now we're on the other side, and I gotta double check because I'm pretty sure it's right up there, but it could also be right over here if I'm overshooting it. So I'm a little bit tempted to backtrack and kind of look this way, but I also feel confident that it should be right up here. I've never come this way before. This is going to be really interesting, trying to find my way over and back, and hopefully when we go back I can use these landmarks and find the e-bike again to get out of here. Look how flaking, tool making. Wow, what a cool spot. You ready?